I'm gonna switch over to my hands now. Hi, Sandy, welcome. Hi, Laura. Oh, Jenny, you're catching me live for the first time. That's so cool. Hi, Kay. All right. Cindy's from Maine. Kay is from Georgia. Oh, this is so cool. I just love all of our states being represented and territories. Love it. Okay. All right. So this was the first card that we made last week. All right. You probably remember that. And then this was the second one that we made. But I do want to show you a stepped up version of the same card. Now I'm going to hold these close and you're going to notice that this is designer paper. This is the gilded leafing that we did a few weeks ago. All right, so that's what I did there. And here is another one of the cards that we made last week. And many of you placed online orders and you now have the supplies for these 4 cards. They are all finished. I've already cut them all and packaged and they're all ready to go. So some of you did earn some card kits last week by placing an online order. Now I have some other cards that I'll show you. This one I actually cased from another demonstrator. It was on a demonstrator Facebook page. And so I don't remember who created this and I don't think I wrote it down. But I want you to look at these holes here. Now these holes are created when you use this die right here, okay? So this is the die and you pretty much just place it on the paper and roll it through the Big Shot. And I did that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So that's how that one was created. All right. And this one, and I may have showed you this last week, I'm not sure. Hi Lee, hi Melissa. Do you see the bricks right here? That is achieved by using this die. And this actually cuts out the Whisper White cardstock, and I have designer paper behind it. All right, so that's that card. Then I had a lot of butterfly scraps, and we did a card like this maybe a month or 2 ago where we took scraps and we just laid them on the diagonal. And so, yay, Joanne, I'm so glad you got a card last week. I know the holes are awesome, aren't they? These are just scraps, ladies. That's all it is. And then here's another card created with scraps. All right, and by the way, this card and this card right here are on my Facebook page, and they were posted, I want to say yesterday, and they were posted with measurements. So you can take some of those butterfly scraps and make some cards with the scraps. And then here is a card right here. I like to lift up the wings on the butterflies. All right. So those are just a few more cards that I've made with the butterfly Brilliance. Now, let me show you what is included, okay, with the bundle. First of all, we've got the Butterfly Brilliance stamp set, and we're actually going to use this stamp set tonight. So you're going to see how vivid and how beautiful these butterflies are. Then it comes with this set of dies. And then it comes with this die for cutting out these butterflies. So it's one die and it's one stamp set. So you're going to see how we use that this evening, okay? All right, now let me show you what these dies look like. This die right here, and I know there's a reflection on the this plastic sign here, but this is the die that we're looking at right here. All right, and that's what I cut out. This is the negative piece of the die, and then here are the butterflies that have been cut out. Okay, sorry for that lighting there. All right. I have this in a stand because when I teach my classes, I can stand this up on the table. Now here are the, let me turn that light off for a second. That might help a little bit. Here, we've got the stamped butterflies. That's not helping at all, is it? And then here are the other shapes that you can cut out. And you've got 2 butterflies. They're great for layering. And then there's the holes there. Okay, turn that back on, give us a little more light. And then here are more butterflies. Now these have been laying flat, so let me just poof up these little wings so you can see how cute this looks with the basic black behind it, kind of like a shadow. And then here are the intricate dies. Aren't they beautiful? So that's what that one looks like. And then I did some more. You haven't seen this before because I just made these yesterday. This is from the designer paper. So there's one sheet of designer paper where you can cut out all 6 butterflies with the die. Okay, and I'll show you the paper in just a second. And then here I've stamped the butterflies, and then I have put the intricate dies on top. All right. So the butterflies are they're just so vibrant. They are just beautiful. And I will get pictures of these and post these to my Facebook page and to my blog, okay, so that you'll have them. And then I copied this from a demonstrator. Yes, I copied because I loved it so much. I actually took those butterflies and I put them in an 8x8 frame. You might even call this a shadow box. But I basically just cut the butterflies out with the designer paper and then mounted it. Isn't that pretty? I love this and I really wish I could take credit, but I can't. Now let me show you the designer paper. I'm trying to shift everything around so it doesn't fall off the table. Here's that sheet of paper I was telling you about. And when you use the die, it cuts out all 6 butterflies at the very same time. Yeah, Melissa, the butterfly suite is amazing. I love it. I'm so in love with it. I wish we could work on it the rest of the month. This is the opposite side of the butterflies. And then we have these butterflies right here. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can get a better look at the designer paper. There's the opposite side. Here's more butterflies. Here's the opposite side. I think I zoomed in too much. More butterflies. And this is the opposite side. I know, Cynthia, aren't the butterflies beautiful? Here's some more butterflies. This is the opposite side. And here's even more butterflies. And this is the opposite. All right, so that's the designer paper. There are 48 sheets. It does come 6 by 6, okay? And you get 8 of each double-sided sheet. So you would get 8 of this one, all right? And then you would get 8 of this one, all right? So you do get a nice assortment. All right, I'm gonna move a few things off my table because I'm going to need some space. So let me just do that real quick. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so tonight's card is called a spinner card. And there it is right there. Excuse me. All right, and now we're gonna start with the pieces, okay? I know the paper is so, so gorgeous, absolutely awesome. All right, ladies, we're going to start on our spinner card now, and I'm not sure how long it'll take. And if we have time, we will make another card, but we'll just kind of see how our time goes with this card, okay? All right. Well, you're going to start with a piece of basic black cardstock. Now, if you want, grab some paper and pen in case you want to write down these measurements, okay? So this measurement is 4¼ inches by 11 inches. And then I scored it in the middle, which is 5½ inches. All right, so this becomes my card base. All right. And then I've got this beautiful piece of designer paper. And this is measuring 4 inches by 5¼ inches. All right. Now, to get started with this card, I'm going to take just a little bit of adhesive, okay? And I'm actually going to just put a little snippet of adhesive at the top of the designer paper. And then I'm going to lay it on here and I'm going to center it. All right, as best I can. All right, so that should do it. Now, the reason we're doing this is because we are going to create a hole, all right? So we want our designer paper nice and straight, and we're gonna cut through the designer paper and the cardstock, all right? So let me show you which dies we're using. This is from Layering Circles. And by the way, tonight I'm going to show you everything we'll be doing with the Big Shot, and then I'll pull the Big Shot over and we'll get everything cut at one time, okay? So we're going to use the Layering Circles dies, and this is the scallop circle right here, which is what we want to create, okay? Then we have the other circle that's just going to cut the circle. So let's measure these so you know about how big my circle is. The diameter is about 2 3/4 inches wide, okay? That's the diameter of the circle. And then the scallop circle is about 3 1/4 inches, 3 1/4 inches, okay? Yes, we are making this in Hostess Club, Gail, this Saturday. Okay, so what we need to do is we're going to place the circle on the front of the card, and we're going to cut out a hole. And it'll cut out the hole for the designer paper and for the cardstock. Then you're going to need, this is Melon Mambo, and this is the scallop circle. And so I'll be putting this on the Stamp and Cut Emboss machine along with this circle, and I am going to center it, and we're going to cut that out, and that is going to give us this scalloped ring, all right? So we'll be using the Stamp and Cut machine for that. All right, so I'm going to put those aside because that'll need to get done. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our butterflies. All right, and I'm going to use my Stamparatus. And the reason I'm using it, hi Carolyn, welcome. The reason I'm using the Stamparatus is because if I don't ink my butterflies enough and I stamp, I can go back and re-ink them, okay? And you'll understand what I mean in a few minutes because I'll probably have to stamp this twice, all right? We are going to use Pool Party, and this actually measures 5½ by 8½, but you really don't need a sheet this big. I'm gonna flip this. I wanna make sure that I have good coverage, all right? So make sure that the butterflies will fit on the Pool Party. And it does, and so now I'm going to put a magnet right there to hold my paper in place. Hi, Carol. Okay, so this is black Memento ink, and Now I have to remind you all, I know I say this every week, I am working on a folding table. When I work in my stamp room, I stand at a counter, a nice hard counter. Well, this is a folding table, so there is some give in this table. I even feel it when I'm inking up these butterflies. All right, well, hopefully we have enough coverage there. We're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp our butterflies, and you're going to just see how beautiful they're going to be. These turn out great every time. And there they are. And look, it didn't quite stamp the wing. And so we're going to do this again. And that's the beauty of the Stamparatus, because I can ink up these butterflies one more time. And I can fill in those places that did not get stamped before. And I could do this all night if I want until I get it perfect. So if you ladies don't have a Stamparatus, it's something you should definitely consider. Now I know over here I needed to push a little bit harder. Sorry, because the lights are right here, right in your way. You can't even see those beautiful butterflies. Okay, so let's see. Oh, much better. Now they're much more vivid. Aren't they pretty? So that's our butterflies, and we will cut these out as well with our Stampin' Cut emboss machine. Okay, so lots of cutting tonight. Also, for this card that we are creating, you'll notice that I have the front of the butterfly, but there's also a back to the butterfly. So I actually need two of these butterflies. And so I'm going to show you how I do the second one, all right? Because I just need one butterfly. Now, if I want, I could stamp a whole nother sheet of butterflies, but I don't need to. This is the actual butterfly that we're going to use. And so we're going to be cutting out this little guy. And I should have checked to make sure it's this one right here. Just want to be sure that, yeah, there we go. So now I'm going to stamp this one again, just this one. This is the extra one that I need. And there it is. We could make that a little darker. And you know what? I didn't put the magnet there, and I should have. Forgot to put the magnet on top of the paper. So hopefully my paper is going to stay right in place. There we go. It did stay in place, and now I've got that second butterfly that I need, okay? All right. So I'll move that aside, and I'll close this up. This is something I'll clean later with my simple chamois, just by rubbing the butterflies and getting it clean, okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do on this card is to create the words. So we will be embossing, and this will take a bit of time to do, okay? This is where our time comes in. I'm going to be using mini messages, which we've used before on Facebook Live. And we're going to also need this sheet of basic black cardstock, okay? And we're going to need the die that's going to cut out the words all at one time, okay? So that's the die that we need. And now I'm going to bring in mini messages on my second Stamparatus, all right? I do have two Stamparatus tools because I teach a lot of classes, and it's nice to have an extra one. So this is what we're going to be embossing tonight. Okay. And this sheet of paper is actually a bit bigger than it needs to be, but I'm not going to worry about that. Make sure that I have coverage, and I am going to use my magnet here. Whoops. Hang tight. Make sure that's nice and flat, and I want to be sure that I still have coverage. Okay, I think I'm gonna move it over a little bit. This part right here takes the most time, okay? I'm gonna be using the white Stamp and Emboss powder. All right, I don't wanna open that yet. Okay. I'm also going to be using Versamark, okay? And this is what you use when you want to use embossing powder, and then we're gonna heat it up, okay? So here are all the words, and I'm gonna go ahead and ink this up. I see a few little things on there. Okay, now let's try this. This is going to be very difficult for you to see. It's going to be difficult for even me to see. All right, let's see if I can figure out if I have enough. I am going to add a little more. Can you see that? You see the Versamark? It is there, okay? But let's just ink it one more time to make sure I get good coverage. I'm trying to remember, I think this has about 29 messages, 29 greetings, I want to say, something like that. Okay, one more time, and that's why it's nice to use this stamp with the Stamparatus. Okay. Let me know if you all have any questions. I am going to take my time with this, so hopefully we can get a nice finished product. So if you're in class with me this weekend, I want you to take your time. Okay. So I'm going to stop there now, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this up. I will clean this later with some soap and water. And now I'm going to bring in my little snappy tray and my embossing powder. And I am going to pour this over the entire, I'll just use it all, okay? And then I'm gonna shake this off. All right. I've got one little mark here. I'm going to rub that right off. Something I always forget to use is my embossing buddy. So when I go to heat this up, I'm probably going to get some little white flecks, but I don't think it's going to interfere with the actual embossing, okay? Now this is what takes a while. Heating it up, okay? So I'm going to use the heat tool, and it's going to take us a few minutes. So at this point, if you all have any questions, let me know. And also, if you're new this evening, please say hello. Let us know where you're from. When you do respond, your name gets put into a drawing for tonight's cards. All right, I can already tell this is heating up a little bit. I think the biggest thing about this particular stamp set is to take your time with it. It's just, it cannot be rushed because you're trying to ink up so many different words, so many different letters. And it takes longer than you think to heat up. But once I cut it out, I'll have lots of greetings that can be used on different cards. And I love the white on black. Now you can tell the brighter white is already heated. That is all done. You can even add these greetings to the inside of your card. You can see now it's starting to get brighter. Yes, Leslie, on Friday, you'll be making this card. I do love the white embossing on the black. It adds a lot. And as you can tell, mine is really starting to brighten up now. So it's starting to heat pretty well. You can also test it just by touching it to see if it's still sticky. I'm going to give it just a few more minutes. You can also hold your cardstock with a clothespin. And that way you won't burn your thumb like I'm just about to do. All right. I'm so glad y'all like the white embossing on black. It can be a little tricky when you're stamping it. Again, I want to be sure that I'm getting all my words nice and baked. It's making me very warm right now. And I think that's going to do it. So I'm going to turn this off. I think we're good. All right, so that's what it's gonna look like when you're done, okay? Now I'm gonna move that heat tool out of the way, and I've got an embossing powder everywhere here. We're now going to get out our Stampin' Cut emboss machine, so I'm gonna zoom all the way out, and we're gonna start cutting, okay? All right, I'm using the big one tonight. We need the big one because we're going to be using these larger dies. I know, isn't this cool, Mary Kay? All right, let's get our platforms. We know we need number 1, and you can just look at these sandwiches here. Then I know that I need a number 2. Here's a number 3. And this is where I'm going to add the words. I'm going to stand up for this, and the camera is probably going to shake, okay? Now, what I have found is lining up the heart, the star, and the star, okay? So if you line those up, you pretty much have your words lined up. I am going to use some washi tape just to kind of hold this in place, because as many of you know, our magnetic platform is still being reworked so that it works nicely for us. So I'm just kind of taping this down, okay? And this is very forgiving tape. I think that's going to take care of it, okay? So let's go ahead and we're going to put this on top. Try and make an even sandwich here, all right? And then hang on, because I know the camera's going to shake. All right, hang on 1 second. All right. And everything's still in line? I think so. Okay, hang on 1 second. I'm going to move this die down a bit, okay? There we go. I am working sideways, which is always difficult here. All right. There we go. Hang on 1 second. Okay. Sorry about all the shakes. Okay. And now all of our little pieces, and I can go ahead and I can get rid of the washi tape there. And these are going to fall out, okay? And now this gives me all kinds of greetings. And I even have the heart, the star, and the other star is already fallen out. Okay, hi Linda, welcome. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the Mini Mates die back in its case. And I'll clean the stamp and do that later. Well, there's happy anniversary right there. Now what I usually do is I provide a bag for my ladies so they can put all their greetings in one little Ziploc bag, okay? All right. Now we're going to cut our butterflies. That'll be the next thing. And this is super easy to line up. Again, I'm going to use washi tape for this. So let me make sure that I've got it lined up just right. I like using washi tape because it's very forgiving and it doesn't tear your paper. All right, that should take care of our butterflies right there. Okay, and now these will pop out just like that. Now let me show you how to cut that single butterfly, okay? It's super easy. I would just put it on the platform. I think, which one is it? This one? So what I would do if, I don't need to cut this one tonight because I have already cut one. Let's cut this and make it smaller. And I would put this one just like that and roll it through the Big Shot, okay? I'm sorry, that's really hard for you to see, but that's how you would cut one. All right, if you needed an extra one. Okay, what's next? Let's go ahead and we're gonna cut our melon mambo. That's the paper color, excuse me. And then I'm gonna center these two. Now this one's the circle and this one's the scallop circle, okay? And I could use washi tape on this as well, but I think we're gonna be fine without it. Okay, hi Diane. We're happy you're here. Now this is what you get with these two, okay? So that's the piece you need. And then look, you've got an extra circle that you can do something else with. Now one more thing to cut and then we'll be done. This is our card base. I'm gonna leave the designer paper positioned on here, okay? I'm gonna take the circle and I'm going to center it. Just come down a little bit from the top and then leave space on the left and right side, okay? Then we're gonna add this. Let me pull this out a little bit. All right, I think it's still in a good place. And we'll just roll this through to get the hole in the front of the card. All right. Whoops. So now I have the hole in the front. I've got an extra black circle. And then I have designer paper cut out as well. All right. Any questions about that? I think we've done everything with our stamp and cut emboss. All right, we are back. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to lift this gently off, okay? You're going to put it back, so don't worry if it tears your paper a little bit, okay? And I'm gonna go on and zoom in. There we go. And let's go ahead and do the inside. We're going to be using So Saffron cardstock for the inside. And it measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. Okay? And then we're just going to add, I'm adding snail tonight. we're going to center this. Okay, so there we are, we're centered with that. And now we're going to be ready to work on the butterfly. All right. So this is the butterfly we're using, and I just need to find the mate, and there it is. So you're going to turn your butterfly over, and you're going to add tear and tape right across there, okay? I'm going to grab a sip of water. Okay, now you've got a few options for your string. So if you're just joining me, this is the card that we're making tonight, and I'm talking about the string, okay? Some demonstrators use this thin thread that we used to sell. We had it in gold, silver, copper, pink. We had lots of colors of this, and this is what I used on the original card and what I used last night in class. Fishing line works well also, and one of the ladies last night had made a spinner card with the ice cream set, and she used the fishing line, and it was very strong and it worked great. My husband's not a fisherman, so I don't have that, but my daughter makes jewelry, and so I'm gonna try this tonight. It's a little bit sturdier. Hopefully it's not too heavy. And I don't know what it's called. This was with her beading. Bead stringing wire, 7 strand. If that's 0.012 inches. If that helps you, 0.30 millimeters, okay? So that's what I'm using. And I want a fairly long piece. Now, I didn't measure this, but this is probably 8 or 10 inches, okay? We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna peel this paper off the butterfly. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take this string and I'm gonna lay it in the middle. Okay, everybody with me? I hope so, Jean. I think it's gonna work. I think this beading wire will be a little bit sturdier than the thread. I hope it works. Let's see. I'm going to tape this up here. And you know, I didn't do this last night, but I think we're gonna add a little more tape because that will keep it from slipping, okay? And then I'm gonna take that other butterfly and I'm just gonna lay it right on top. Now you're gonna find that your butterflies aren't exactly symmetrical. Like there's the outline from the other butterfly, but that's okay. It still works fine, all right? So my thread is here. I'm actually tugging on it and it's not moving, all right? So that's your first step. Then you're going to take the front of your card and you're going to put a piece of tear and tape right there at the top and here at the bottom. Now, can't you all imagine all the different kinds of shapes and die cuts that we have that you would be able to create a spinner card? I mean, the ice cream cone. What about the strawberry? You could certainly make it so the strawberry turns, right? I just happened to think about that. Okay, so now I'm going to peel off the tear and tape, and I'll just go ahead and do both now. And then I'm going to put this right in the center, and I'm going to lay that beading wire right on top of that, that tear and tape, okay? All right. I tell you what we'll do. We'll just worry about the top right now. You want to be sure that that butterfly fits inside that circle and that it's not over here. If it's over here, it's not going to spin, okay? So while that tear and tape is there, I am going to add another piece, okay? And that's just gonna help it stay in place. And I'm pulling on it and it's not moving. So now I'm going to take this, all right, and hold that. And what I found with the thread last night, this kept wanting to slide. So this is probably a better option, or the fishing wire is. All right, so here we are. Now we've got both, and it's pretty strong. And I don't think it's slipping anywhere, okay? So that's what you want to do. And then I'm going to take the designer paper. Actually, let me do this. Let's go ahead and trim the thread. And I'm thinking I should not have done that with my nice paper snips. I probably should have used different. This might ruin my paper snips because it's thicker than thread. Okay, so that part is done. And now I am going to put the snail right along here. I found a few more of these refills, so I'm trying to finish it all up. I'll put a little extra around the circle. And then when I go to put this back on, it's going to already be centered for us because I'm putting it around that hole. Okay, everybody with me? Okay, now just to finish it off and make it look beautiful, we're going to use some Tombow. And last night I didn't have my Tombow with me, so I used snail or Stampin' Seal, either one. But this one should work a little bit better. Come on. So I'm just going to put it, I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just putting some glue in various spaces. All right, you ladies are very quiet tonight, so you must be taking notes. All right. I'm going to pick this up with my Take Your Pick tool. Oops. And I'm just going to lay that right on top, just like that. Okay. And that'll take just a few seconds to dry. But isn't that pretty with that beautiful scallop circle around there? Oh my gosh, Carol, bees would be amazing. That would be great. Dragonflies? Dragonflies would be nice as well. So I can think of a whole lot of things that we can do. I mean, think of our punches and all the fun die cuts that we have. Okay, so now that that part is done, let's go ahead and add our words to the front, and then we'll work inside. And we need to put some embellishments on our butterfly too. I'm looking for the words we're gonna use. Hang tight. So what do you all think of the mini mates? I know we've used it before. I'm gonna use this one. I'm so happy to celebrate these moments with you. And I've got a little pool party banner right here. So let me measure this little thing for you. Oh my goodness. It's about 1/4 inch. And then the length is about 2.5 inches. And I just took paper snips and snipped that, okay? Oh my gosh, the donkey, I forgot, and the hummingbird. Oh my gosh, you ladies are awesome. I hadn't even thought about the hummingbird or the donkey. I'm just taping this. And there we go, okay? And then I'm gonna pop it up. Put that there, and this here. All right. And then I'm going to position this about right here and hopefully get that straight. Okay. Now I'm going to get into these matte black dots. I love these things. I hope they carry over to our brand new catalog. I'm going to start with a bigger one. They come in 2 sizes, and I'm going to put the bigger one at the top. of the butterfly. And then I'm going to take two little ones and I'm going to put right underneath. Okay, and one other one right here. Trying to move that thing into place. Okay, now I didn't put the embellishments on the opposite side of the butterfly because I think it will weigh it down and I think it'll be hard for the butterfly to spin. Okay, so I'm just doing that on one side. All right. Can you get a hummingbird for the back? Ooh, good question. I don't know because that hummingbird is only in one direction. So I don't think so, Laura. Joanne says the baby kangaroo would be great for a baby card. Oh my gosh, it would. It would. Pumpkins for Halloween. Y'all are awesome. I'm loving the suggestions. It's great. So right now, this is the way our card looks. And you can certainly put this behind it. And if you do that, you're going to want to line up your designer paper. All right, so you would position it and tape it like that. You could also flip it over and use the opposite side of the circle, okay? Or some of my ladies last night, they left it so it had this So Saffron background, which I actually liked as well. So here's the original, if you like this one, or the So Saffron back. Okay, so you all will have to tell me. Oh my gosh, Stella, absolutely. Let's see if I can add a little Stella here so it'll dry a little bit. Oh yes, Stella will be awesome with this. I'm so glad you said that, Melissa. We had class last night. I didn't even think about Stella. All right, so I'm just going to add a little bit of Stella here. Winka Stella is what I'm using. It's in the annual book. And of course, once this side is dry, I could also put the Winka Stella on the opposite side. Okay, oh, that is so, so pretty. All right, so for the inside, the other thing that I did, I actually put another greeting on the inside. Okay, so you have that option as well. All right, of adding that greeting to the inside. And this is So Saffron. Joanne says you always use a circle and put the hummingbird to it. Oh yeah, you could definitely do that. Yep. All right, so let me show you how the spinner card works. What you'll do is you'll turn, 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 turn. Just keep turning, all right? As many times as you want, and then you're gonna lay it flat, and then it goes in the envelope, okay? And when you open it, uh-oh, you didn't turn it all. Hang on, maybe the jewelry wire's not gonna work. Hang on, let's do it again. Interesting. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and close it, okay? And hopefully it'll spin this time. No, well guess what? Jewelry wire, I think is too heavy. It doesn't twist enough, so it doesn't work. I do know that fishing wire does, fishing line does, okay? Oh, that's true, Suzanne. If you put the designer paper behind it, then you don't see the string so much. You're absolutely right. But guess what, ladies? My card is a dud because it will not spin. Let's try it one more time. I don't think the jewelry wire that I'm using does any twisting when you turn it like this, and I think that's the problem. Let me show you this one. This was with the thread from Stampin' Up that I've had a while. Baker's twine I think would be too thick, and I think it would be too heavy. All right, let's try it again. I know, isn't that good to know? All right, let's try this. See, that one worked. But see, it's heavy, so it wants to lean to the side. All right, so now we know. Thank you, Diane. So someone's taking home a dud tonight. I've got to keep this one for class, but someone's taking home the dud tonight. Diane, maybe you'll win it. I can't believe that. I am just totally shocked by that. I had no idea. Leslie, please bring fishing line to Hostess Club. I would love that. Thank you. Because I don't have any, and I'm not planning on going out to get any. So that would be awesome. All right, so that's the spinner card. And of course, now that this side is dry, I can do the Wink of Stella on the opposite side. All right. Okay, well, I've got one other really fun card for you. And this card right here, okay, thank you. I'm glad you all like it. Thank you, Jean, thanks. Oh, yeah, maybe embroidery thread would work. Yep. This is a Wobble card. Have you ever seen one of these? So this one's super, super easy to create. And there's a little mechanism on the back of the butterfly. And it's called Action Wobbles. They're mini action springs. And that's what we're going to use tonight. It's super quick, super easy to do. All right. Okay, it looks like I did put some holes here. So it looks like we'll be getting our machine out to do that. Let's see. Sandy, if you're still watching, Sandy would know the answer to your question, Laura. Laura says, what thickness of fishing line? I looked on Amazon and there are different sizes in millimeters. So if Sandy is still watching, she'll know because she used that for her ice cream spinner card. Great question. We will not be making this in Hostess Club, Laura. Good question, but we won't be making this one, okay? I've had my wobbles for a while, but I believe Amazon. Oh, Melissa used the wobblers behind the donkeys on a triple block card. Okay, Melissa, I've never made a triple block card, okay? So I'll have to look that one up and try something new. So, but I would check Amazon, ladies, and I don't remember how much it costs because I've had mine for a bit. I probably have had this 6 months, okay? All right, so let me get that die out. It's this one right here, and we are going to create these holes right here, and then everything else is cut and ready to go, all right? And this right here is from Stitched Shapes, and this is the stitched oval, all right? And let me measure because I don't know which one it is. This one is about 3 1/4 inches in diameter, all right? Yep, Amazon has wobblers. Yep, you got it. Oh, Laura's sad because we're not making this in Hostess Club. Okay, I'm sorry, Laura. I got something else planned for you, girl. I'm gonna zoom out. This is gonna be just a quick cut for us. And there's the stitched oval, and I need to clean this out, ladies, okay? I have not taken the time to clean out all my little paper pieces. So hopefully this will cut all right. Now you could stamp this and then cut out the little holes, or you can cut out the little holes and then stamp, okay? So you can do it either way. Hopefully it cut out for me. Yes, it did. And then you've got these little holes left, and this is easy to pick up with your lint roller, okay? All right. Okay, so let me move that. All right. So we'll bring this back in. Y'all are gonna love the wobble card because it's fun. Sandy says that she thinks with the fishing line, almost any size would work. She doesn't know what her fishing line is, but it was fairly thin. And the wobbles are on Amazon you get 12 of them for $8.64. Thank you, ladies. Y'all are awesome. All right, this greeting right here is from the Dragonfly stamp set, and that's probably not the name of it, okay? But I don't have the stamp set over here. And this is in the mini, and it says, your acts of kindness are like a breath of fresh air. And I'm gonna put that about right there, okay? So yeah, you might wanna stamp first and then cut it out. You can do it either way. Then we've got a pool party card base. And this pool party card base is 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And then you're gonna score it at 4.25 inches. And that'll be the center, okay? And then we will add designer paper. Here's our butterfly paper. I could play with this suite all month. I really could. I'm just having so much fun with it. I hate to move on to something else. 5.5 inches long, and this is 2 inches, okay? And we're gonna tape this first. And we are just going to put this at the very bottom. Okay, just like that. We're gonna add some of this beautiful shimmer ribbon. I think it's Blushing Bride, and it's in the mini. And if you did my ribbon share, then you have this. You have 2.5 yards of it. All right, let's bring this on around. Like this. I think mine is twisted. One side is that shimmer and the other side is like the glitter. Okay, so shimmer on one side, glitter on another. All right, and then I'm just gonna wrap this around here. Pull that through. Just like that. All right. And that's gonna be, you know, I love ribbon. I gotta throw that in there. All right. There we go. And now we're going to add a scallop oval. And this one's measuring almost 3.5 inches in diameter, okay? And we're going to tape this. Can you believe I'm not popping it up? Hello? I can't believe I'm not. And I see one little piece that I need to poke out. And then we're just gonna center this right here so that we can let that beautiful melon mambo just pop right through. I'll go on and zoom in a bit at this point so you can get a closer look. I am gonna tape this instead of popping it up, and that's because I'm gonna pop up that butterfly with the wobbler. And by the way, you just might see the wobble again next week, okay? I'm thinking of something that I wanna try, so you might see it again. All right, so there we go. And now I'm actually using one of the butterflies from the designer paper. The scallop oval, Laura, is Melon Mambo. Great question. Okay, wait till y'all see how easy this is, all right? This is the little wobble, okay? And let's see here. I am going to peel off the top. Now, there really aren't any directions, okay? So, I think you can use either side. I'm actually pulling up this tape, okay? And then I am going to stick my butterfly on it, all right? So that's all I did. And then I'm gonna peel this paper off. Now you can use your take your pick tool, which is probably what I should be using. And I want to show you, I've got two little pieces of paper right here. So that's what I am peeling off. Oh, look, I didn't know that. Look, if you bend it, it will pop. So you can get that tape off, okay? And then I am going to put my butterfly about right there. Don't want to cover up the words. I probably should have put it down a little bit, but you know what? It'll still go in an envelope. And when it comes out, it'll pop. And that's a Wobble card. Think of all the different shapes you can use with that. Some of you have already said the donkeys. What about the chickens? Wouldn't they be adorable? They would be awesome. All right, so that's my second card tonight, and I hope you like that. All right, so this is the first card and this is the second. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the bundle here. If you look at this picture right here, okay? Oh, by the way, I didn't even show you the 12 by 12 paper tonight, but you can purchase the stamp set and the dies, save 10%, and it would be $54.75. Now, you're looking at the entire collection. You're looking at the stamp set, the dies, the 6 by 6 paper, the 12 by 12 paper. And so if you want the entire Butterfly Brilliance collection, it is $71.25. And so when you purchase this, if you purchase the stamp set and the dies, you've earned a B. And if you purchase the entire collection, you would earn 2 Bs. All right. Plus, I have my March tutorial. Here it is. 16 different stamping techniques. Okay. When you place a minimum order of $35 in my online store, this is your tutorial, ladies. It's one of the free gifts. And my Be Rewarded card, when you have earned 10 Bs, you can redeem that card for $35 in free product. Okay, so you earn a B with each $35 purchase. Okay. So I wanted you to be aware of that. If you are placing an order in the next week, this is your March Hostess code, and this is a brand new one, okay?